Well, I wanted to start by asking you, yesterday at the premiere in the afternoon, you mentioned that Judi Dench was always the person that you wanted to play the part of Philomena Lee. But I'm curious about Martin. Was that something that when you were writing it, you always saw yourself actually in the film as well, or how did that come about in the process?
Initially, I thought I wanted one of two things. I either wanted to play Martin or possibly cast someone else as Martin and maybe direct it. But I didn't. But then I kind of got cold feet about directing, and my vanity got the better of me, and I decided to play Martin. And Stephen came on board when he read the script, and he's the perfect choice. And he brought a lot to it and helped helped us with it. He gave us good notes on the script. You know, he was smart and very collaborative.
There's a device that you use in the film, the home video kind of Michael and Anthony. Was that something that actually existed, or was that something that you kind of chose to use as a kind of framing device?
No, it existed. And in fact, Steve tells the story of going with Martin Sixsmith to see Philomena, and Martin Sixsmith for the first time revealing this footage. So when Philomena saw it, Steve was sitting beside her and felt her hand tighten on his shoulder when, you know, she saw bits of her son's life. So it was always there, and then it was written into the script, and then in the cutting room we tried this and we tried that and sorted it out.
It's really effective, I think, yes, in the way it's used. And it's amazing that it actually existed, because I
yes,
thought maybe it seems very cinematic in and of itself. So that's quite interesting.
Thank God for home movies.
It does help. Well, he mentioned, and you mentioned both actually yesterday, about the fact that it's such a sad story, but that you managed to kind of infuse it with these moments of lightness to keep it from getting too heavy. Yeah. Was that his influence, or was that something that you kind of collaborated on to get there?
The humour was there. I mean, the story was innately tragic when I read it in the newspaper. But then I saw a photograph of Philomena with Martin, much like the poster, and she's smiling, and she's actually laughing in the picture, and so that interested me. And all of the story was tragic. I thought, how can you tell this in a way that has that sugars the pill? Because whenever I tell people about it in a sentence, they'd go, "That sounds very depressing. Why would anyone want to go and see that?" So I knew I needed to lighten it and bring humour to it. Because it's medicinal, laughing in the face of tragedy. So, and something that people understand. And to me, there was never a conflict between the tragedy and the comedy. You know, the two sit very well together.
Can you talk a bit about working with Judi Dench? You hadn't actually worked with her on a production before, correct? How was she to work with?
She was fantastic to work with, as you'd imagine. But she really was. She's skilled and a master of her craft, but wears it quite lightly. Makes you feel comfortable, doesn't over-talk about the thing, just gets on with it. In between takes, we were just making each other laugh. It was very easy on set, very comfortable. And as an actor, of course, I was slightly intimidated about taking a dramatic role opposite someone of her stature.
Well, we're like Punch and Judy. We quarrel and bicker away like an old married couple. She's simply wonderful.